Hello there, in this video I'm going to be looking at some more products from Hammerforge Studios. Hello there, it's Sven here again for the Average Tabletop Gamers, and if you go back to one of our previous videos you'll see that I reviewed some lovely bits of scenery from a company called Hammerforge Studios, a relatively new company based out of Ireland, and they only just set up in December 2019, starting to make resin, cast scenery and adornments for your table, objective, bits like that. And obviously we've got a hold of some of their products to review, so I've been having a look at some of them, and today on this video I'm going to be looking at some of the smaller bits sections, so not the big bits of scenery like we saw before with the bunkers, but like little bits of scenery you can use to make objectives or to decorate your table. Okay, so the first one, I've got four to show you here, really. Four to show you here. So the first one we'll look at is a power generator. So this here is a power generator. It's kind of a little three-sided sci-fi style affair with a little control panel on it. So I'll switch to the close-up camera so we can have a look at this in detail. Okay, so here is the power generator, and as you can see it's got a lovely little kind of control terminal on there with a keyboard and a screen and a couple of dials, and we've got some great detail in terms of power lines, little display panels and keypads all over the place. And again, it's the poured resin that we talked about when we looked at Hammerforge's scenery in our last video. So this again would be a great piece, well, I should say for scaling, it's scaled at around say like a 28 to 32 mil, so it's going to work great for your 40Ks, Judge Dredd, Infinity, anything like that of that scale. In fact, if I pop that down there, you can see with a Primera Space, so it would scale well with something like Imperial Guard or 40K, or if we move to a 28 mil figure and we get someone like Judge Dredd in, you'll see that for Judge Dredd, you know, it would equally look well in a kind of an industrial setting for Mega City 1, or again, you know, just use a slightly different scale to 28 mil figure. Here I've got a miniature from Crooked Dice's 7TV Apocalypse settings, and again it would fit great for a factory setting such as where this hazmat trooper might live. So a great little piece again, which would be a nice objective feature, or just a nice piece of scenery to help build out an industrial zone. You know, it's great for blocking lines of sight, giving you some extra cover, some different cover to play around that isn't just a square or like a cube or a box to play around. So that is a great little addition. So I love that little power generator. So for that power generator, on the website you're looking at €12, I believe it is, on Hammerforge Studios website, and I think that's a great little piece of tabletop dressing to put on there, and I said fantastic for use as a generator. As with all these products, I'm just showing them as bare resin. If you go and have a look on the Hammerforge Studios page, which I will link off to below, you'll see how good that looks once it's painted up. Even better than this bare resin, which looks fantastic, but don't get me wrong, go and check out their website to see what it looks like once it's painted up. So for €12, I think that's a great little addition to your table. So next we'll stay in the sci-fi realm, and I'll look at the SciFi Bits. So this is SciFi Bits number 1 as it is described on the website, and what you're getting here is you're getting a pair of little boxes, you get a pair of little drop containers, and we get 6 of your standard kind of oil barrel. So I'll switch to the close-up now and we'll have a look at these in a bit more detail. Okay, so this is the SciFi Bits 1, as I was saying, and you can see there we've got some lovely little like kind of crates, little containers with some great detail and panelling and the screw holes, to see whether they're joined together. And again, we've got some fantastic battle damage on these. It's quite subtle on these, but I think it'll look lovely once you get a bit of ink in those to wash those out and really show the damage on them. We get a pair of these that look like they are kind of lockable, like or foot lockers or drop containers, something like that. But again, we've got a little keypad on them, so it could be like a safe lock. It could be a cryo container, like a storage container. And we get 6 of these barrels, which are really nice little oil drum style barrels. And again, just a nice piece to have, and it fits well. And again, these are going to scale nicely for kind of light line of sight blocking, or just objective markers, just scattering around your battlefield. So it's good for giving that little bit of partial cover. So I'll just lift these guys up so you can see them there. It gives you partial cover in 28mm, and it'll do the same kind of thing if you're playing in 32mm or around that scale. So it's going to be enough to block lines of sight to your minis should you need to. So if you're playing something like a kill team game, these would be great just to scatter around the battlefield, just to kind of make it a little bit harder for someone to draw lines of sight easily across the battlefield. And it's the kind of staple that a lot of companies do, these like generic SciFi Bits boxes. I really like these ones because, again, they're very generic, so they're not too they're not too I'm trying to think what the term is, kind of dark gothic, grim dark, 40k styled. They would fit into any kind of sci-fi or post-apocalyptic kind of setting. So I think they're a great little addition to the battlefield. So for the SciFi Bits 1, you get for €7.50. As I say, you get 2 quite big, so about 1.5 inch cubed crates. You get 6 oil drums, and you're getting 2 of these little foot lockers, or these little cryo chambers, or whatever you want to represent them as, for €7.50. I think that's good value considering what companies like, I think it's TT Combat that do their range of resin cast barrels and things, what they would charge for something similar. I think that's good value for money. So again, we're going to stay in the sci-fi realm for this next product that we got from Hammerforge Studios, and this is their SciFi Objectives pack. So in this pack you get 6 objectives, which look like they're on a 30 odd mil base. 6 objective pieces which are all themed for a sci-fi setting. So we've got a little command terminal, we've got a little case of, it looks like spools of cabling with a bit of scrim net, so there's a little lightning flash in there, so I think it's probably communications cabling or something like that. We've got a little Tau inspired kind of pillar. There's something very alien egg around that, so if you're playing something like Tyranids, that's gonna be nice in there. We've got a little triangular kind of piece there, again very reminiscent of Eldar or Drakari or Eldari or whatever they're called these days in 40k. And the last one we've got is kind of a little armor plated section. So again, let's go and have a look at these in detail on the close-up. Okay, so we're looking at the objectives at this point. And so we'll just have a quick look at some of these in detail. So the first one we looked at, which handily is objective number 1, is a little terminal. So you can see it's, and actually this is very reminiscent, and this is what's really nice about theming these across the battlefield. It's very reminiscent of the terminal that we had on the power generator. So we've got that little terminal. So one thing I'll point out as well here is you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it there, that is objective number 1, and all the objectives are numbered. So if you look at this next piece, which is kind of like a little walled section, you'll see there it's got objective number 2, and so on. But yeah, so the detail on these is fantastic. So here is objective number 3, which is that little power cable box. So you can see it's got some scrim netting, it's got a reel that's already open and half used. We've got some reels stored in the box. And then, as I say, they're all quite themed. So here's objective 4. So this is the alien egg, and you can see we've got like what looks like it's kind of reminiscent of what you've got with the Tyranids. You know, the way they've got their armor plating. It looks a little bit like the eggs from Aliens. You know, it's got a great alien theme there for your sci-fi games. We've got, as I said, something that's a bit more reminiscent of your Eldari or your Drukhari kind of thing. And then we've got, and this one's in 2 pieces, so it's like a pillar with this little cap that sits on top, so it's almost like a piece of Tau architecture. So these objectives are going to be really nice to use in your games. So a lot of games use objective based systems, and again, you know, you could just have some cardboard counters and whatever you want and drop them around the table. However, having something which is going to sit on the battlefield and going to blend in and it's going to make it look like it's part of the battlefield is always really nice to have. You know, whether you're playing something like 40k or something like that, or if I was using these in other games, you know, I might in a game use these as like a kind of a Warehouse 13 style area where these are all just various items that have been left in there and they're important objectives to go in and raid. But I love the theming on these. Again, you know, these are going to fit in beautifully with sci-fi or post-apocalyptic or anything like that. So for that, you're getting 6 objectives for €13.50. Again, I know what I've paid in the past for similar things from Forge World or from Games Workshop, and I paid a lot more than that for something a lot less. So €13.50 I think is great value for money for these objectives. So the last of the small bits products that we got sent were the Fantasy Bits. So this was Fantasy Bits number 1, and this is a much varied set of items. So I should have really counted this before, but we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 individual pieces in this Fantasy Bits section, and they're all very small. So I'm just going to go straight to this close-up camera to have a look at those now for you. Okay, so here we go with the Fantasy Bits. So this is maybe one of my favourite things out of this little set of things, because there's so much character and personality in this little collection of bits here. So we'll start with this one first. What every adventurer needs, we've got a tiny little drawstring bag of coins. So we've got a little bag of coins. We've got a barrel that looks like it's a barrel containing some flour or something like that. So it's actually got a sack around the top of it tied on, and it looks like there's some powder detail in there. So there's a little barrel there, which is really nice. We've got a pail of water or a bucket of water, a little wooden barrel full of water. We've got a larger bag of coins, again in a little drawstring sack of coins, so a larger barrel of bag of coins. We've got another barrel, this time it's a closed barrel. So this another little barrel there that's going to brighten up any dungeon. What have we got next? We've got an adventurer's satchel. So there you go. So there's a little satchel that you might hold in, you know, first or second breakfast or whatever you want when you're travelling around. So some poor adventurers left that in the dungeon. So next up we've got this one, which is a little cauldron of flame, it looks like. So you've got a little bowl with some, quite clearly some coals or something in there, and then we've got some little flame there. So whether or not you paint that up as regular flame, or you, so whether you paint that up as regular, like, you know, flames, or you do it as some kind of ethereal coloured flame like a blue or a purple or a green flame, I think that would look lovely standing on a sorcerer's table. Then we've got an open book bag or an open satchel containing some kind of tome. It's in there. We've got a parcel tied up with string that's addressed. A little address label or a little stamp on there. And then lastly, we've got this, which I absolutely love. We've got the a book with a face on, very similar to something like a Necronomicon. It's even got a big clasp on it. You've got bookmark detail. Fantastic detail in these pieces here. So there you go, the Fantasy Bits #1 set from Hammerforge Studios. I think these would be perfect for if you're playing D&D and you want to actually put, you know, physical markers down to show where things are on the tabletop, just to maybe lure your players into going to search that corner and, you know, have a beholder spring out on them, or some skeletons or something like that. I think these would be perfect for just, again, giving that little bit of extra 3D detail to your tabletop if you're playing something like D&D. Or, you know, if you're playing any kind of fantasy type scenario and just want a few bits to dress a little bit of scenery up, make it a special bit of scenery, basically, you know, make an alchemist lair or something like that, you could build up that quite easy and dress it with these nice little these pieces here. Again, you know, I keep coming back to 7TV, but 7TV for me is the game where you can use all this kind of scenery just wherever you want, because it blends so well into these kind of things. And they are actually in the middle of looking at their 7TV fantasy range, so again, this would go really nicely with something like that. And for €7, for 10 little exquisitely sculpted pieces of detail, which you can add either individual miniatures or individual pieces of scenery, make them objectives themselves, whatever you want to do with those, you're getting good value for money. Because, as I say, the quality of the resin all the way through this Hammerforge Studios range has blown me away. Absolutely enthralled by the detail that's in these, and I love these products so far. And as I say, they will all be hitting the painting table very soon. But as I said earlier, with the power generator and things like that, go check out Hammerforge Studios website. I'll put the links below to all these products so you can go and have a look at them yourself. At the time of filming, there were some sale items on. I think there were some discounts on, so go and check that out as well. You might still pick yourself up some extra bargains on their site with some discounts or some savings. So what you'll see on there is some fantastically painted examples of these bits themselves. Obviously, I've just been showing you them here as the bare resin. What I'll be doing is these will be going into the painting workshop here, and I'll be getting those all painted up very soon, and they'll be getting added to various bits of table that we play on when we get some games going again. But we will be putting the pictures of them on Instagram, so go and make sure you check out our Instagram and all of our other social media channels, so you can check out our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. On Facebook, we've got both the page and we've got the Average Tabletop Gamer support group, where you can go and chat and hang out and ask advice, give advice, that kind of thing, show off your painted works to other like-minded gamers. And obviously, when we get these painted, we'll put all the pictures on there so you get to see them and what they look like when they're painted. And anytime we use them in a game, we'll make sure, you know, that we get some good photographs so you can see what they look like in different settings in different games. So remember to give this video a like, a share and a subscribe. Make sure you hit the notify bell to be told when there's more videos from the Average Tabletop Gamers coming around, and as soon as we get round to a regular filming schedule, you'll see a lot more content from us hitting your screens. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you to Hammerforge Studio for producing these and sending them to us to review and have a look at, and be able to do something with them. So for now, thank you very much, and we'll see you very soon.